Lautaro Martinez, what a man, what a player, but most importantly, what a captain. A player that steps up when his team needs him most. Now, seeing as we're speaking about leadership, what is the true definition of leadership in football? Leadership in football is not just about wearing the captain's armband. It is about embodying the values of teamwork, communication, and resilience that drive a team towards success. Now, we've all just sat down and watched a blockbuster of 180 minutes between Bayern and Inter. Tell me Lautaro Martinez is not the captain of this team. Tell me he doesn't deserve the captain's armband. Tell me he is not the leader of men. A guy that can rally the Inter players with his performances, with his communication, with his mentality, with his fight. Lautaro Martinez, what a performance on the big stage of the Champions League. Now, let's not forget, Lautaro Martinez scored at the San Siro, and because of that goal, he broke into history. He became the first Inter player to score in 5 Champions League games in a row. And the thing that makes those 5 goals special is they were key goals. They were important goals. And that's when your leaders step up. They don't cash in when the team is winning 4-5, 6-0 and score the 7th goal. No, they score crucial, important, decisive goals. If we were to look at Martinez's 5 goals, he scored the equaliser against Bayern at the San Siro. He scored the first goal at the Allianz Arena. He scored the second goal against Feyenoord to secure and kill the game. He scored a hat-trick at Monaco. And when Inter went away from home to Sparta Prague, he decided the game with the game-winning goal. Lautaro Martinez, a leader. Just from watching the guy, he must be a joy to play with. Why? Because he gives you everything. He truly, truly, truly does. He gives you so much on the ball. He gives you so much off the ball. He's one of those players, you always feel his presence on the pitch. Now, against Bayern Munich, Lautaro Martinez, he showcased a broad skill set that you'd want in any attacker. And like I said, he must be a joy to play with. Marcus Thuram must love every minute of being on the pitch with Lautaro Martinez. Because against Bayern Munich, Lautaro Martinez showed us he can score goals. He showed us he can win duels. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Over the course of 180 minutes, Lautaro Martinez won over 20 duels. Yes, for a striker that's 5'8", 5'9", he won over 20 duels. There's something about South American players. They've got so much fight. They've got so much passion. They've got so much hunger. They're not scared of anything. They go into the game giving 150%. They will get stuck in. They will help the team in every way they can. Like, imagine, even when the ball boy got thrown to the floor by a Bayern Munich player, look at Lautaro Martinez. Look at his eyes. He's ready to go to war. Against Bayern Munich, he also showed I can play make, but on top of everything, I can lead my team towards success. Now, there's just a few moments throughout the course of those 180 minutes that I want to highlight. Let's just start off with the goals. You go away to the Allianz Arena. It's hostile. It's a very tense environment. You score a goal, a trivela, an outside foot into the top corner. That is a player that can improvise in the final third. That is a player that seizes the moment and seizes the opportunity and scores for his team. A week later, to the San Siro, this is a player that scores the equaliser when his team was on the back foot. He showed I can score goals. Now, in terms of creating opportunities, Lautaro Martinez, the more I watch him, the more I tell myself he is the glue. He is the connector. For a guy that's 5'8", I have to keep banging on about this point. For a guy that's 5'8", he wins so many duels in the air. Like when Sommer pings it into Lautaro Martinez, Martinez is winning those headers. He's got a very, very, very strong leap. He's a very strong individual. He's very difficult to maneuver off the ball, but he's a guy that has an amazing connection with Marcus Thuram, and he's always looking for his partner. You can see here against Bayern Munich, he receives the ball. He knows Thuram is running in behind. I need to control this ball and I need to spread it over the top. He showed he can play make. On top of everything, he can connect play. When you look at Inter, the 3-5-2 in possession, it relies a lot on overloads in the centre of the field. They ask Marcus Thuram, can you drop deep and help us? Lautaro Martinez, can you drop deep and help us? Lautaro Martinez. All over the park in Germany, in Italy, dropping deep, connecting play, spreading play, the diagonal passes. He's showing, I'm a striker that can score goals. But I'm a striker that can create opportunities. I'm a striker that can drop into midfield and create those central overloads. And I'm also a striker that will help my team off the ball. This is him relentlessly pressing the Bayern Munich players, applying pressure, forcing them to pass the ball backwards. Guys, I've practically listed everything you'd want in a striker. And there's a reason why Inter fans love him. There's a reason why the Inter players love him. There's a reason why he's one of the first names on the team sheet, and there's a reason why he's tasted a lot of success in the Inter shirt, because as a number 9, as a striker, he is a player that you must fear and you must respect. And the funny thing is, if you don't fear me, if you don't fear him, he will make you fear him. If you don't respect him, he will earn that respect through his performances, through his leadership, through his goal scoring ability. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is a dude in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. He stepped up. That if there was a one way for me to describe that Lautaro Martinez performance over the course of 180 minutes, I would say a player that stepped up. A player that told himself, my team is coming up against arguably the best team in Germany, but I am going to step up. Why? Because I've got the captain's armband. I need to step up. Because if as a captain, I don't step up, what message am I sending to my other teammates? If the captain can't step up in a big game, how can I fault you for not stepping up? You look at me to set the tone. You look at me to rally the troops. I'll be honest with you guys, I actually loved his performances over the 180 minutes. Let's now move away from the speeches and the fancy stories and the non-stop praise. Just me giving my share opinion on Lautaro Martinez. He just showed everything you'd want in an attacker, and I love the fact that he didn't shy away from the moment, because that's something that tends to happen in the Champions League, especially in the knockout phases against big opposition, especially when you're on the back foot, you go 1-0 down, everybody's looking at you, because guys, the one thing we forget is as a captain, you've got the most pressure on your shoulders on the pitch. You are the captain for a reason. When the team concedes, the cameras are on you. Can you step up? And for me, Lautaro Martinez, I could really make a case. Man of the match, San Siro. Man of the match, Allianz Arena. He stepped up. He didn't shy away from the moment. He handled the big pressure moments. And that's what you need in an attacker. That's what you want in a teammate. Somebody that can take the pressure off you. Somebody that you can rely upon. And I feel like even when Inter went 1-0 down to Harry Kane, they knew, we've got Lautaro Martinez. We've got Marcus Thuram. The chemistry, the dynamism. These two will get us out of trouble. And he did. He truly did. He scored the goals. He helped the team so much off the ball. He created opportunities. Let's just say, if one day I was fortunate to interview Kim Min-jae or Eric Dyer, I know for a damn fact they would tell me Lautaro Martinez gave them a lot of trouble. And listen, if you're an attacker that gives the opposition players trouble, it means you've done your job. And there's a reason why Inter went on to beat Bayern Munich and set up a blockbuster of a tie against Barcelona. And I feel like he will definitely trouble them. The technical ability in the tight areas, his ability to drop deep, his ability to play with his back to goal, his ability to sniff opportunities and put the ball into the back of the net. This is a guy you don't want to come up against. And the thing about Lautaro Martinez is he's picked up this rich vein of form, this rich vein of confidence, this rich vein of predator instincts in the final third. He's picked it all up in the most crucial part of the season. And it's the business end of the season. When Inter are competing for the Coppa Italia. When Inter are competing for the Champions League. And when Inter are competing for the Serie A. Their main man, their captain, is on fire. And don't be surprised if he leads them to success and he leads them to glory. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button. And I will catch you guys on another one.